HARO. HARO. Such a great place to get backlinks and get ripped off by marketing agencies. Hey, if you are thinking about doing HARO link building, then it's a great idea. However, if you are thinking about purchasing HARO link building services, then don't do that because I'm going to share with you how you can do it yourself and even outsource it at a fraction of the cost. And don't get ripped off. Keep watching. Hey, what's up Ams? I'm Dziak from b2bdigitalmarketers.com, and in today's video you will learn how to effectively build high quality backlinks just like an agency would do for you, but for free or at a fraction of the cost. So without further ado, let's get started. So before we get started, what is actually HARO link building? HARO link building is a link building strategy where you are using HARO or Help a Reporter out free services that connect you with a journalist seeking expertise for their upcoming articles. HARO sends you 3 times daily, Monday to Friday, journalist queries for you to answer, and if the journalist selects your response, then you will get backlinks that are often from a very authoritative website. It is arguably the easiest link building strategy and one of the best ways to get great quality backlinks. Link building is hard. According to SEO Tribunal, 65% of marketers affirm that link building is the hardest SEO tactic to complete, and for me, this number could be much higher. And if you are learning about link building, then you will find plenty of people seeing link building being the hardest part of doing SEO. And the biggest struggle with SEO is again being link building. So why SEOs love HARO? It is because the hardest parts of link building, that are prospecting, vetting, and outreach, are literally done for you. And you only have to focus on providing your expertise and value to journalists, and that's it. You don't need to know where to find prospects, how to vet those prospects, find their email addresses, and how to send your cold email to your prospects to build backlinks. Literally, HARO does all that for you, and on top of that, HARO link building is having one of the best link building conversion rates, and it brings one of the highest quality backlinks your website can get, as journalists from big media like New York Times, WSJ, BBC, and many niche relevant authority sites are searching for your expertise. Sounds great? Well, that's because it is. HARO link building is really one of the best ways for you to earn backlinks on a consistent basis, especially if you are starting. However, because it is so great, then link building agencies are taking advantage of HARO and providing super expensive HARO link building services. So here I will share with you how you can do HARO yourself and even outsource HARO with almost no effort and for a fraction of this stupidly expensive service. In fact, I show you how link building agencies doing it and keeping a big chunk of your money for themselves. Stay tuned. If you have never done HARO link building, then don't worry, it is super easy. In fact, it is so easy that anybody can do that with no experience. I have seen companies subject matter expert with no background in SEO and marketing getting links from HARO at much higher success rate than SEOs and marketers. How is that possible? Because journalists are seeking industry subject matter experts to give them quotes for their upcoming stories. So, getting your subject matter experts answering HARO inquiries can be the best way to get you backlinks. And the best thing, it only takes around 10 minutes of their time. However, I'm going to also show you how you can do HARO link building without asking your subject matter experts or anybody on your team. There are so many ways how you can do that. So let's get started. Prospecting with HARO is as easy as it gets. Just click on sign up as a source and complete their form. Once you sign up, you will be directed into the account detail where you fill up basic information like your name, company, email address, country, and etc. Now, if you do it for your own website, for the company field, you can put the name of your website. For location, if you are located somewhere else, then put whatever. It doesn't actually matter. In the reporter details section, for the outlet column, you can fill up your website name or your company name. In HARO preferences, you select your industry or any clause. This will send you journalist queries related to your niche and your expertise. And for the other contact info section, I think you can manage it yourself. The address can be the actual address of your home or business address, even though it won't match the location setting from above. However, this is not mandatory. Once you complete all the information and save and update it, then you are ready to start receiving your first journalist queries. Remember, HARO will send you 3 times daily, Monday to Friday, journalist queries. When exactly depends on your location, of course. The second step of HARO link building is vetting your queries. As you probably guessed, this gets even easier. Whenever you receive an email from HARO, just open it and scan it for any relevant queries you can answer. As you can see, each query has a short descriptive title to give you an idea of what they are looking for, and in the bracket you can see the outline. For example, I am in the SEO niche, therefore the second query, SEO for small businesses, is something I'm very interested in. As you can see, vetting is even easier for HARO, as you just need to scan the queries from journalists and find the one you believe you can answer. Manually vetting all the queries 3 times a day can be a bit annoying, so let me show you how you can set up a Gmail filter to automatically vet those queries that contain certain words. For example, I have set up my own Gmail filter for the keyword SEO, and whenever I receive a HARO query that contains the word SEO, Gmail will highlight it for me like this one. It also moves the HARO email into a separate folder. Like this, it is much easier to track HARO emails every day without me manually going through them one by one. So let me show you how you can do that. Step number 1. Click on this fancy filter icon. This will open up the Gmail filter. Step number 2. Enter HARO email into the From column, and the subject column enter the word HARO with the square brackets. Into the Includes the Words column, enter your keyword. You can also add more keywords using the and or search operators. Also, I recommend you using the quotation mark. Once you are done, you can click on Search to test it out. Of course, to test it out, you would need to be receiving HARO inquiries for a while like me. If everything works fine, you can go back to the filter and click on Create Filter. And step number 3, you can create designated folder. This is optional. Here you will get an option to create a special folder for your relevant HARO queries, just like I did. To do that, just tick the box, apply the label, and click on the drop-down menu. Here you will click on New Label. Then just enter your new label name. I recommend using HARO and the keywords as your label name. For example, in my case, it will be HARO SEO. Like this, I can easily monitor the HARO queries for different keywords or clients. Once you are done, then click on Create and then click on Create Filter. And you are done with automating your vetting process. I really recommend you set this filter, as it will save you a ton of time and it takes only 5 minutes. Alright, moving on. The third step is outreach. Once you find a query that is relevant to you and you think you can answer, just click on it and it will navigate you to the query description and requirements. Here, pay close attention to the deadline. If the query is not expired, then you can still answer the query. Also, check out other information, like the name of the journalist, to help you personalize your answer. You should also look at the outlet. This is especially important to check if you have already a backlink from them. If so, then you might want to prioritize other queries first. However, it is always better to have 2 backlinks than 1 from the same domain. And then you can check the query. Usually the first paragraph is a short description followed by a question the journalist has that you should answer. And after that, there are the requirements. Here the journalist specifies what he or she actually wants. Usually they expect short answers. However, they do not always include it within the requirements. Other requirements could be certain positions or working in specific industries, including your profile. Usually it is LinkedIn to verify your expertise, and other requirements. Of course, you should also include your website in every situation. It is very important to read the requirements to make sure you provide what they want and you are the person they are looking for. If you are not somebody they need, then don't bother answering. They will want to verify it. With that, here is an example of my answer to the query. As you can see, the outreach for HARO link building strategy is super easy as well. And in my experience, you can expect 1 backlink for every 5 to 10 queries you answer. Now, let's have a look at how you can scale your link building effort using HARO. There is a super easy way to scale your link building with HARO using marketing agencies. And this method, as I said, is super expensive. Like a really expensive. But on the other side, you don't have to do almost anything. Then there is the easy way to do HARO link building at scale, which is way cheaper, but you need to do a little bit of effort. Just a little bit. Let me show you. Step number 1. You need to get a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork or anywhere else with experience in your industry to answer HARO queries on behalf of your company. And this is super easy. Just log in, create work, and write a job description. You can use my template. Step number 2, you need to negotiate with the freelancer. Here are some examples of my requirements. Of course, if you can think of any other requirements that you want to include, feel free. Step number 3, get your freelancer. And now, Once you start getting your applications from freelancers, then you can select the right one. You can also send them a few sample questions from HARO to test them and select the best. And step number 4, you need to create a company email for your freelancer. He or she should not answer any questions without your company email. Also, you should create a nice signature for the freelancer with a suitable position to showcase the credibility. And just like this, you can scale your link building with HARO for fraction of the cost. Typically, using this method, you can expect the cost per link around $100, while using agency, it is around $300 to $500 per link. And guess what? Most likely they will use the exact same strategy just like I show you now. Or they will use somebody in the house. Regardless, I'll let you decide which method you prefer. Now, HARO link building is one of the easiest ways to get links. However, over the years of using HARO, I have learned some of the tricks and tips that help me to improve my conversion rates. So, you can use these best practices to get more links, or share with them with your freelancer to get you more backlinks. The first and one of the best practices of HARO link building is to prove you are a credible source. Obviously, if a journalist likes your answer, they will want to confirm that this is from a legitimate source. This means they will want to look at your website, blog, company profile, and social media, and even at your personal profile to see if you are a subject matter expert. Therefore, having a nice signature, using a gravatar and picture of your face in your email address with a quick links to important sites like company website, social media, and including your position will help you to build trust with the journalist that you are a great source. Also, don't forget to include a short bio. 1 to 2 sentences should be enough about yourself and why you are credible to answer this question. Remember, they will link to you, so they want to make sure you are the expert and not some scam doing link building. The next important practice I recommend you to follow is to answer ASAP. Over the time of building backlinks from HARO, I've noticed that the sooner I answer, the higher is the chance I get a backlink from a journalist. Usually, the journalist gives only 1 to 3 days deadline. However, I noticed that the most of my HARO links are from queries I have answered within 12 hours. But it doesn't mean you should not try to answer all the queries within the deadline. I just recommend you to answer as soon as possible if you can. I don't know why it's like that, but many that are doing HARO for a long time will agree with me. Another important practice for HARO link building is to keep your answer short within 100 to 300 words maximum and position your response at the top of your email and then the rest. Remember, most likely they are only looking for a quote from an expert. This quote will be part of their article included within. This means if you write a long response with 400 words, it will be hard to include your answer. Plus, they will have to read it and change it up a little to fit it in the context, which means extra work and yada yada, they will not select you. Therefore, try to always keep your answers brief, on point, packed with full of value, and remove all the fluff. I know it can be a struggle. I sometimes send answers with 800 plus words. It never got selected and I wasted like 1 hour. The next important practice I recommend you to follow is to focus on relevancy. If you are focusing on supply chain automobile industry, then answering journalist queries on marketing or SEO wouldn't make much sense. Not only the journalist would not find you legitimate and probably not link to you, but also getting links from completely different niches would not help your ranking. Google is looking at the relevancy of the website, and if the domain is ranking for completely different keywords you are not targeting and ranking, then it will not help you so much. On top of that, you might trigger the Google spam detector and they could take a manual action like further devaluate your links. And the last practice that is super important is to focus on your subject line. Some may assume that journalists reads every HARO response that they receive. Thus, the subject line is not important at all. However, just like with email marketing, journalists will scan the subject lines of virtually every response they receive and will make the decision to open those responses based on the subject line alone. Just think about it. If you would receive 50 or even 100 plus responses, would you read everything? Of course not, especially when you have a deadline to make. Therefore, skipping on the subject line can cost you valuable backlinks, and you should use some of the best practices to improve your email subject line. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something new, so don't forget to like my video and leave a nice comment below. By the way, check out all my links in the description for my favorite link building and other marketing tools. Ciao!